Hey, what's up everyone at PokeMoshPit? I am AceStarThe3rd and thank you so much for watching. If you don't know me, I'm a person who usually uploads 3rd generation battles and etc. So I hope you guys enjoy this overused battle that I had against one of my friends named Shogux. This battle was extremely close and it was very exciting and it's just epic. So I hope you guys enjoy it very much because it's really intense. So yeah, I'm uploading again because I have been accepted as a director now. Not only do I want to thank the people at PokeMoshPit, but I do want to thank all of you who supported me and even the people who didn't support me on my previous uploads on regular PokeMoshPit and on beta. All your comments, your likes, your views, everything, even your dislikes, helped me achieve to this point, and I really just want to thank you guys so very much because I know you didn't have to. So let's get into it. If you look at my team, basically the whole thing is based around Alakazam. You know, the whole thing with Alakazam, it is a very good sweeper, it's fast, and it has a lot of special attack. So basically everything else on my team is there to stop other things on other people's teams, and if it gets down to that point, Alakazam can come in later and then start to destroy everything or give pressure on things on his team. Another big Pokemon that's extremely important is Snorlax because it has self-destruct. It's a really cool move to have on Snorlax because essentially it is stronger than Explosion because of Stab. Everything else, you know, Skarmory is there for spikes, damage, and everything, and Suicune's there because Suicune is an amazing Pokemon to have. It has great synergy. Venusaur is my special defensive wall, and Metagross is Choice Meta also and can destroy bulky threats or waters that may get into my way. So I hope you guys enjoy this battle and let's go. Alright, so before we actually get into it, I'm just going to say that, you know, today was election day and Barack Obama had won and now he's going to be a president for the next 4 years and I am pretty juiced for that. So anyway, he's up with his Sceptile, I lead with my Valedictorian, my Alakazam, and immediately I just go for a Fire Punch because I know that Sceptiles can't really do much of anything except if it was physical, but it seems to not be. So anyway, he goes into a Snorlax, which is pretty awesome for him because he can take that Fire Punch very easily because of the thick fat ability that he has. And I just can't really do much of anything now because he has so much special defensive bulk. So I go into Mauricio because Mauricio can come in and stop Snorlax immediately because, you know, he has a nice defensive bulk and he can just start setting up on Snorlax because Snorlax really can't do much of anything to Skarmory. So anyway, I just go for a whirlwind, not mainly just because, you know, I can't do anything to Zapdos or anything that might come in. I wanted to get the leftovers recovery because that crit Body Slam may not have seen much, but it really would have been much later on because Skarmory doesn't have any way of recovering HP except through leftovers because I don't have a Wisher or Leech Seed on, well, I do have Leech Seed on my Venusaur, but that's not really consistent. So I just have the ability to go for Whirlwinds, etc., and then I'll get, you know, leftovers recovery. So anyway, he goes into his Suicune after I whirlwind him in. I go into my Snorlax because I know that, you know, Suicunes can't really do much of anything that badly. I just wanted to see what kind of Suicune he was at first, and he seems to be a Crocoon, which is kind of bad, but it's not horrible because I have my Venusaur here, which is specially defensive, and he might be able to stall him out a little bit, not for long, but you know, he has Leech Seed, which will help later on. So anyway, he went to his Fortress, and I went to my Alakazam, I do believe, at the same time. I do go for a Psychic because I knew he was going to switch out. There was no point of him staying in because he could have died to a Fire Punch, and he needs to take away the spikes. He knows I'm going to have spikes later on with Skarmory, so he needs to keep the Fortress along as much as possible. So anyway, I go back to my Snorlax. He can't really do much of anything, so he switches back out into his Fortress here. It's kind of asleep. It's not really going to be doing much now, so I went for an Earthquake because I figured he would switch out, and I just wanted to do as much damage as possible. And at this point, I'm thinking like, okay, how am I going to stop this? How am I going to stop it? Because every time I'm going to switch in my Alakazam, he's going to switch out into Snorlax, and I could predict that switch, but then he's going to switch back out, and then switch and switch and switch. What am I going to do? So it's kind of like I'm thinking as right now, what can I do? And my big plan right now is eventually I'll get to the point where I'll be able to go for an Explosion on one of my Pokemon later on either the Fortress or the Snorlax, which will do a huge chunk, and I'll proceed to go into another Pokemon that will be able to take him out at that low amount of health that they may or may not have. So anyway, go into Skarmory, pretty awesome. I whirlwind out, I do believe right now, his Fortress, and he goes back into his Snorlax. The only thing right here really is just to see what else he has on his team. I haven't seen one of his or two of his other Pokemon right now, and I want to know what they are because he's not bringing them in, and I'm pretty sure if he did bring them in that it would be pretty much of an issue for him. He does an awesome prediction right here and predicts me to go for spikes as he goes into his Zapdos. Zapdos is pretty annoying. It's not exactly the most terrible thing ever, because I do have my Venusaur, which is especially defensively bulky, and it's like, dude, I know that I can take all of those special attacks and everything, so it's pretty awesome. I mean, it's going back and forth right now, I know, but I mean, it's gonna get more eventful later on, I promise you. I'm sorry. But anyway, I go for a Leech Seed on the switch into his Fortress, and it's kind of awesome because I do get back a little bit of health, which is going to be beneficial for me later on, seeing as I am a wall. But at this point, I predicted him to wake up, but he just doesn't. I do believe it's like a 4 or 5 turn sleeping turn for Fortress, which is kind of bad, but it's whatever at this point because I just go for Explosion on him with my Metagross. He was max attack and choice banded. He's going to be doing a lot of damage. I mean, it's a substantial amount of damage, so I don't think that mattered so much if he lived or didn't live, because I could have brought in something else that would have killed the Fortress anyway, so it's kind of like whatever. So anyway, he goes back into a Snorlax. At this point, I do believe we go for an Explosion or self-destruct at this point, because I don't think there was a point of me staying in anymore. And the fact that Snorlax, he was just annoying. I mean, I don't like Snorlax. He was just in the way of me going for moves with Alakazam, so he needed to go immediately. So at this point, he goes to a Suicune. I go into my Venusaur, I do believe at this point, and I just go for Elite Seed right now because, you know, Suicune having only Surf as its attacking move, I know he'll start to set up with his Calm Minds and everything, but that'll be beneficial later on when I go into my other Pokemon that will be able to hurt the Suicune more than I will be able to. So yep, I was able, I'm sorry, to Elite Seed the Suicune, and now it's pretty awesome for me because now I can just switch out into another Pokemon, get back more Leftovers recovery, and start to set up and etc. So I go to Mori's show. He wears me out, unfortunately, and I go right back into Venusaur. So that was kind of pointless at that point because the only thing that really happened there was him losing health. I guess he was trying to predict me to just do something. I don't know what he was doing at all. So anyway, goes for a Calm Mind. At this point, I think I'm going to be staying in for the next couple of turns because there was no point of me switching out and then him switching, you know, it was too much. So I'm just going to go for Sludge Bombs over and over again until he's going to go for Rest, and at that point I'll be able to go into Skarmory and then Whirlwind him out. So he does get Parahax this turn, and if he gets Parahax I think one more time or so, then it's going to be extremely non-beneficial for him because he's going to be dying to the Elite Seed damage and a little bit of damage to Snorlax, not the Snorlax, I'm sorry, but the Sludge Bomb is doing. And unfortunately he does get haxed once more, and it sucks for him because he's going to get taken down the next turn, and there's no point of him trying to switch up because I do have Spikes up, I do believe. So yeah, I do get to take out his Suicune, so that's two of his huge threats of 3rd generation. I mean, Snorlax and Suicune are extremely huge just issues in 3rd gen. You don't even know. With the way that they set up and their stats and everything, they're extremely difficult to stop. So the fact that it was able to take them out, then that is just off the charts in terms of, oh my god. So anyway, he goes into his Wii type, my Sceptile, and I'm seeing that he doesn't have Leftovers and he's going for Substitute over and over again, which means that it's most likely that he has a Pattaya Berry, which is, it's pretty common, I mean, to have. And I thought he would go for Hidden Power Fire at this point, so I was kind of like, ooh, whatever, ooh, scary, ooh, I don't know what to do now. But, you know, he goes for Endeavor, and I'm like, wow, wow. So, I mean, that's pretty smart. I don't believe many standard sets of, am I right about that? I do believe not a lot of standard sets of Sceptile have Endeavor on them, but it's pretty smart of him to have that because my special defensive wall is now just there and it can't really do much of anything. So he can proceed to go into his Zapdos. I'm not going to switch out because I'm too slow to like go for Synthesis on anything on his team now, so it's kind of like whatever, I'll just die now. So anyway, I go into Valedictorian and I go for a Psychic, and I do get the special defensive drop, which is very, very, very important because now at this point, at this health percentage, I can take him out with another Psychic. But he goes into his other Pokemon, he Baton Passes into a Marowak, and I know that is extremely not smart, and that's just something that's really just there, and it's not really, you know, competitive or whatever, however people feel about that kind of thing. But I mean, I guess that was smart because, you know, Zapdos is pretty difficult to stop, and if you do get off an agility or two with it switch on the Marowak, you can proceed to destroy a lot of things because of its Thick Club and having a 504, I do believe, attack stat after the boost and everything, and it's just cool. Is it 500? It's a lot. So anyway, he goes for a Thunderbolt and proceeds to take me out with a critical hit, which matters so much. It matters so much. It mattered so much. It mattered so much. It just did. I mean, if he didn't get that critical hit, I could have killed him, but I mean, he got another one. Look at that, 2 crits. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could have lived that one, but no. I mean, he told me in his chat that he didn't have maximum special attack. He was modest, but he didn't have maximum special attack. So I'm pretty sure a maximum special, HP Suicune with a little bit of special defensive investment would have lived that. But unfortunately, things just don't work out that way, and I do lose to Shogux. So I suppose that was a good game. I mean, minus the crits at the end, which totally destroyed my chances of winning. But it's okay. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that battle. It was kind of, you know, haxy towards the end. It was haxy a lot throughout the whole thing, but it did turn out to be a pretty good battle. I hope you guys enjoyed it a lot. So if you like the generation, be sure to check out my channel and etc. It's pretty cool. Check out Shogux's channel too. He has some pretty cool 3rd generation videos also. So be sure to like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, comment if you're cool, subscribe if you haven't, and do those other things that you feel you should do. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching once again. Have a wonderful day and goodbye.